Hi, hello, good morning. I am doing a quick YouTube video about how flammable is your house. Now, I'm going to start obviously with the obvious things that can cause fires in a house to spread. Things like curtains, so upholstery, which obviously most houses will have. Now, I'm slowly going to come to the ceiling. I'm actually standing in a house where they still have what is called tiles that are made of a bit like polystyrene on the ceiling. So you imagine if this is the bathroom and if this was for some reason had some kind of fire, probably an electrical fire due to, say, the electric's not working in the ceiling, all of these tiles would potentially cause the fire not just to spread, but you imagine having plastic mounting at a high temperature and dripping down from the roof onto your head when you are trying to escape this property. Then if we go to the walls, we have chipboard effect wallpaper. So behind each one of these effects on the wallpaper, which was very common, and my mum's got it in her house still as well, is pieces of wood. So again, even the wallpaper is extremely flammable. The best way to obviously prevent any fire from spreading, you can hear my children downstairs. Okay, is to keep the doors closed. But in this house, for example, the doors are actually made of glass. So any fire brigade would say, in order to prevent a fire from spreading, close the doors to kind of contain the fire. But at the same time, because this has glass panels, the fire is not going to be contained for very long. Whereas something like this door, which is a bit more solid, would be a better fit. Now we're coming along to a different type of wallpaper. Again, this is a sort of wallpaper that my grandma has got in her house. I know people have got it. It's very beautiful. I love it. It's very tactile. It's great if you need things to be sensory, because you're just trying, say if you were partially sighted, just by having a different texture on the wall could potentially help you to say, okay, this is the living room, this is the kitchen, this is the bathroom. But all of this is polystyrene that is being used to make these beautiful sort of wave effects on the walls, which again is highly flammable. And again, so we're looking up at the ceiling, again, polystyrene tiles all the way across. And this wallpaper continuing. So you imagine that the wallpaper isn't just going to burn, it's actually going to melt. And then again, polystyrene tiles all the way down what would be potentially one of the fire escapes. So we come again to the bedroom. And again, the door is not solid. And if we carefully put on the light, all of this here, this alcove stuff, is actually polystyrene. And again, is extremely flammable. So you can hear my little one. So what I'm actually doing at the moment is not actually taking off the wallpaper. What I'm doing is I'm just scraping off all of the polystyrene. And then what will happen is we can still use the undercoat of the wallpaper, which then leaves this beautiful indentation of sort of a wave effect. But we are basically reducing the risk of flammability to the house due to the decor. So when you are buying a house or renovating a house, these are the sorts of things that you really need to think about. It's not just things like, keeping your fire exits clear, having doors that close. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's just my little one. Okay. Yeah. And, not blocking hallways so that children can access things in and out properly to go to facilities like the toilet, which my little one's been shouting on my video. But also think about your decor. How flammable is it? could that potentially cause the fire to spread? Now, obviously the owner of this house was extremely lucky because they were a smoker for all their life. And again, it's even silly things like that, you know, people having a cigarette before bed, falling asleep in bed with a cigarette still lit. So you imagine being in the bedroom that I've just shown you, or even, you know, the landing, for example, and dropping a cigarette onto a carpet, and then all of a sudden the fire spreading up to a plastic roof, and then spreading all the way along this corridor. Not only will it burn, but it will also melt because of the plastic and because of all of the tiles and the architecture on the walls. So, like I said, to save money, they don't actually want to take all of the wallpaper off. So what I've suggested we do instead is just basically get rid of the top layer, which is extremely flammable, and then look at other ways of maybe just repainting the surface as opposed to removing now what would just look like lining paper. So hopefully this hasn't been too boring and laborious, but as I am doing this, I just thought I would show you. Thank you.